The mega fight in the welterweight division is finally over between the former champion Jack Della Maddalena and Carlos Prates, and here is how the pros were predicting this fight would go.
It's done! It's done! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Third round TKO! Third round TKO masterclass! How good is he in Machado Gary? Told you! Easy work! Easiest work I've ever seen in my life. Masterclass. Easy work from Prates. Broke him down systematically. JDM got destroyed. Oh my God. Did JDM land one shot? I think he landed one uppercut in the first or second. Brutalized and made him quit off leg kicks. Waved him up, gave him ample opportunity. Brutal 12-6 elbows. How good is Ian Gary? How good is Ian Gary? I told you guys. Fraud resume. JDM's never beaten anyone in the top 10. Knees, elbows, leg kicks, body kicks, jabs, everything. God damn. Broke him down. Broke him down badly. Who told you? Who told you guys? JDM was fucking overrated. Oh my God. JDM was overrated as fuck. I told you. Third round, perfect pick. Systematically broke him down. Good Lord. JDM got the fuck beat out of him. He got demolished. He got victimized.
What a fake generation at welterweight. Bedtime's hanging from a fan. Goddamn Prates. I was going to pick Prates as well. I don't know why I do this shit, man. Same with Allberg and Yuri. Won a 6-leg multi, but not happy about it. Rip JDM. What a fight, dude, though. What a sick fight in the main event. What a scrap. Welterweight's insane it is. Wow. To survive shots. How good is Ian Gary, man? Why is Ian Gary just boxing his face off, but he can't do that to Bilal? It's so weird. JDM will show Prates levels on the thing. Well, good low kicks. Prates is slick. I've always thought, though, Prates rematched Ian, he's KO him. I think so as well. Worst thing is Gary's I told you so, I know. Holy smokes, Prates the best striker in the UFC, he might be. UFC commentators are butt higher the goo. Prates didn't want a ground and pound finish, genuinely so confident he stood JDM up. Yeah, because he had a broken guy. It's not like, that's not aura. I mean, it's aura, but it's not like how good he is.
Bro, JDM looked terrible. JDM looked like not a contender. Prates is the scariest striker at the fucking weight class. Jesus. JDM got mollywopped. Yeah, the picks were still good. It's just the main event pick was off. That performance was insane. Prates just put on a masterclass, bro. Prates just put on masterclass, bro. That only happens. He only looks that good because of me picking Jack Della, cursing him. That's why Prates looks so good. Fat Bundles, thank you for the $100. Won the big DK GPP with Prates KO. Don't always agree with the picks, but appreciate the quality content. Hey, that's what it's all about. You ain't got to always agree, man. This ain't the fucking agree with me every side. I tell you mine, you do yours. We line up, we don't. If not, we can compete against each other and have a great time. Cursing Jack Della Maddalena. I'm so sorry, Jack Della fans. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Jack Della fans. I just couldn't have Prates lose, guys. So I had to pick Jack Della. I didn't want to risk it, you know? If I pick Prates, then Jack Della mollywops him. I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's the way I strategize. My blind pick for this fight was Prates. You know, my blind picks for the main event are way better. When I do tape study on main events, it pushes me the other way.
All right, let's get to it. UFC Perth is in the books. It just finished. And overall, not that great of an event. However, the main event was pretty interesting. Co-main event certainly had some pop and sizzle to it and a couple other things. Let's talk about this main event. Carlos Prates defeats Jack Della Maddalena. He does so at 3:17 of round number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this was an assault. Jack Della Maddalena got mugged today. He got held up at gunpoint and got robbed I mean, he got worked. He got worked today. This is what we were a little bit concerned about on yesterday's MK, Jimmy Smith and I, partly about getting the rebounding after the Islam fight and how hard that could be. But one of the other parts too was, and I think it really showed up here, like there's going to be a lot of differences about, interpretations of about why Prates won. But let me give you maybe one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest one. The firepower of the Brazilian was overwhelming. Overwhelming.
Heavyweight fighter Curtis Blades described it as a closely matched fight, noting that both fighters had brought a willingness to trade. He felt Carlos Prates' explosive and unorthodox style had ultimately made the difference in how the matchup had played out, with that unpredictability creating key moments where he had been able to land clean and cause damage.
That's a hard one because they like to bang. Carlos is very explosive and very unorthodox. I think that's what makes him so much. If I was to bet, it would go to Carlos. I think it's 50-50, but maybe 49-51 Carlos. I just think his unorthodoxness will be the difference, and he'll be able to catch him and hurt him with something.
Breaking down the fight, Jorge Masvidal and Dustin Poirier pointed to Carlos Prates as the more dangerous fighter during the fight, highlighting his knee, power, and unorthodox style that had created constant unpredictability. They also acknowledged JDM's sharp boxing and footwork, which had kept him competitive in the pocket.
In the pocket, power, like one shot.
Yeah.
I might just go with Carlos on that one because he has that knee,
right?
He has that left hand, but his knee is also devastating.
Yeah.
That's another mass destruction weapon.
So rangy, he's taller.
And the unpredictability, the spinning, throwing elbows. He's crafty in there. That kind of stuff, the unorthodox stuff, can be a danger to anybody.
Yeah, JDM's nasty in the pocket though, right? Like he's got some crisp boxing. He does a great job with footwork, moving into the pocket and landing some big shots.
Michael Chiesa also called it a tough matchup and felt Carlos Prates had stood out with his smoking gunslinger style, pointing to the lead knee as a key weapon that had caused real danger whenever exchanges had closed in the pocket. He also noted that the fight had showcased that threat clearly, while still respecting the level both fighters had brought into the matchup.
Woo! My God! A fighter's fight! Man, that's a tough one. I gotta go with the UFC's Marlboro man, Carlos Prates, the smoking gunslinger dude. I love both guys. I'm a big fan of all the fighters from down under, but Prates, man, he's got that it factor, and that knee, I think, is going to be the equalizer. That lead knee is going to be very dangerous for Jack Della when he gets in the pocket.
Adding another layer to the breakdown, MMA Guru felt JDM had been a level above Carlos Prates in the striking, noting that he had made him miss frequently and had carried sharper overall technical ability. He also pointed out that JDM's frame and reach had suited the matchup well, allowing him to work both head and body more effectively.
I think JDM's gonna make him miss quite a bit here. I think he is another level to Carlos Prates in the striking, and I think he is that level above Prates' striking ability. Maybe Prates will make improvements. He could do. JDM's big. He's actually quite tall for a welterweight. Prates is, you look at him against Jeff Neal, a little shorter, hunched over. JDM's going to be hunched over here as well, but he's deceptively got a good frame for the division with a 73-inch reach. I say that because Ian Gary was seen as like a guy who was like popping Prates and getting out of range of Prates' punches. Prates has a 78-inch reach. I think Ian Gary has like a 74. Like, he's actually not that crazy frame-wise with his reach, But against Prates, it really works because he's an educated striker with that slightly level above Prates on the feet. And I think JDM hits a little harder than that and will go to the body a bit more.
The MMA Guru noted Jack Della Maddalena's composed, educated style and his ability to avoid getting hit cleanly, especially when facing dangerous opponents. He also pointed out that Carlos Prates' power and threat had tested that defense, with JDM's technical approach and control in exchanges standing out throughout the fight.
I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena. I think he's going to thrive In Australia, he's had his better performances in Australia. He's very educated. He doesn't really get hit clean. Makhachev mixed up the grappling on him. But I think if, aside from the Makhachev fight, who just has this really great, powerful grappling ability, and if you remove the grappling moments, JDM really doesn't get hit unless he's looking for the kill on someone that he thinks he's a level above. I think if you put him against someone that he knows is dangerous and that he knows he has to watch out for the power of, I think he's going to be able to pick apart Prates and win this one by TKO. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena by round 3 or 4, TKO over Carlos Prates. The 7 losses of Prates, a lot of them happened early in his career, I know.
Stephen Thompson also reflected on the fight, noting that Carlos Prates' range, precision, and unorthodox striking had kept him a constant threat throughout the contest. He also felt those unpredictable attacks had created key moments of pressure on JDM, shaping how the fight had played out overall.
You know what? I hate giving my predictions, but I'm going to go for my man Prates. I think he's hungry. I think he wants that #1 spot. And I think he's got the techniques, the skill set to do it. He's long, he's rangy, he's a sniper out there, and he's gonna throw something that JDM hasn't seen. Could be a spin elbow, a flying knee. I don't know. But for some reason, I got my man Carlos Prates winning this fight.
On the other hand, Youssef Zalal had pointed toward Carlos Prates as the fighter who had carried the momentum into the matchup, noting that this shift had played a clear role in how the fight had been viewed and had ultimately shaped the way the performance had unfolded.
Man, I'm going with where the momentum is at right now. I'm going with Carlos Prates.
Fight as a tactical, competitive battle that had played out with both fighters starting cautiously and reading each other early. They felt JDM's MMA experience and ability to mix striking with grappling had influenced key moments, while also acknowledging Carlos Prates' striking threat throughout, but felt the fight had ultimately been shaped by adjustments and IQ from both sides throughout.
Jack Della Maddalena needs to remember, I'm not just a boxer. I'm a full-blown MMA world champion, and I only lost to the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. If he can go out there and make Carlos Prates fight a full-blown MMA fight, I think he can win this fight. I might sound a little crazy because he's coming off the loss and we know what Carlos Prates has been doing, but I'm going to go with the former champion Jack Della Maddalena to win this fight. It's crazy for me to say that I don't see this fight ending in a finish, but I do think when you have so much on the line, especially for Carlos Prates, it's going to be a calculated, measured fight. Both guys are going to start to feel each other out. They've got high fight IQ as far as striking and getting their reads and stuff. So watch for the first couple rounds to be more of a posturing, feeling out process, and then we should see full-blown mayhem for rounds 3, 4, and 5. But I do think both guys are durable, and I think we get the judges involved. Jack Della Maddalena at home over Carlos Prates.
Adding to the discussion, Gage Young had described Carlos Prates as a dangerous fighter on a strong run, noting his unpredictability and physical presence. He felt JDM had been the cleaner and more complete striker, with those differences standing out when assessing the fight at the elite level.
That's a really tough one to call, man. Prates is a scary fella. We fought on that same card in Kansas City, and you know he fought Ian Gary. And I remember when I seen Prates, he didn't seem like very big, almost like he almost felt like a smaller 70er. And Ian Gary was a big boy, like his head was touching the ceiling. I swear he was much bigger in person than I thought he was. I'm gonna have to go JDM, man. I think JDM's a little cleaner on the feet. I think Prates is on a high right now, and he is a very dangerous guy. But I think Della Maddalena is a little bit more of a complete fighter, and I think whenever you get to that top 5 spot, like you really have to have your holes closed up, and you know I'm leaning towards Maddalena on that one.
Analyzing JDM's sharp boxing, bodywork, and consistent volume, an MMA analyst noted that these key factors stood out throughout the contest. He also acknowledged Prates' power and patient countering style, which had kept exchanges dangerous at all times. He added that JDM's ability to mix striking with grappling had played an important role in how the fight had unfolded, shaping its overall balance from start to finish.
JDM versus Carlos Prates, May 2nd. Who do you have?
I want to say it's going to be JDM. I think JDM takes that. I think he wants to get back that belt really bad. And I think that, dude, his boxing is so good. He like rips to the body like a I don't know. It's gonna be a really good fight though, regardless. But Carlos Prates has that power, man.
Yeah, I have JDM 100%. If he gets overwhelmed on the feet by Prates, or if he hurts JDM, I think JDM has enough grappling to just take him down and make it hell for Prates.
Yeah.
Finish it on the ground or just survive. I think JDM takes that.
Also, he throws a lot more volume than Prates. Prates is known to like
wait.
Almost not as much like Cheeto, but like kind of like Cheeto, where it's like my quality strikes are going to beat your quantity of strikes. But the problem is that JDM also throws quality and quantity. So
dude, his when he threw that combination against
Kevin Holland, that's one of my favorite combinations ever. Dude, it's so pretty.
He egged him on and then did that.
Yeah.
So sick. I was there live when he did that.
You were just in the building, just
I was.
watching?
It was.
Oh, it was.
I was in the building watching it. Yeah,
dude, Mr. West was in the building.
Dude,
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, holy shit. Like watching that live, I was like, dude, you guys don't even know what you guys are witnessing right now. You know what I mean? Like, crazy.
Meanwhile, Dante Johnson had expected it to be a competitive fight, noting that Carlos Prates had brought real power into the matchup. He highlighted Prates' cross as one of the best in the game and felt it had been a key factor in how the fight had played out, making it a high-intensity exchange throughout.
Ooh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I'm gonna have to go with Prates. Prates, you know, he's really well-rounded. We also know JDM, man, he's a monster. You know, he's got hands, he's got power. I think Prates is, it's gonna be a fight, but you know, Prates has power too, and I think he has one of the best crosses in the game. So, you know, that's gonna be a banger. I'm gonna have to go with Prates.
Grant Dawson felt the fight had been extremely close, noting that Jack's boxing and pressure had been evident, but that distance management had remained a key factor throughout. He also highlighted Prates' knockout threat, describing the matchup as having played out on very even terms overall.
That's tough, man. That's tough. I feel like Jack is the better fighter, the better boxer, but he's got to cover so much distance to get in there. And not that he's taken a lot of damage, not that he's getting hit a lot. He's got really, you know, he reminds me a lot of Petr Yan, to be honest with you. And but Prates, every time I bet against him, he knocks the dude out. So I'm not sure. The one guy we've seen do really well against Prates is Ian Gary, and Ian Gary is long and has really, really good footwork. So I felt like that helped him in the fight a lot, and I just don't see that from Jack. If you're pointing a gun to my head, I'm gonna say Carlos Prates wins, but that's just a guess. That's 50-50 in my head.
That's all we have from today's video, and we hope you enjoyed the pros' reactions and breakdowns. Share your thoughts in the comments section about the outcome of this fight, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos and updates.